Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and I am so excited for this video because the time has finally come that I am ready to announce that I am pregnant. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the story of our trying to conceive journey. This is our rainbow baby, so we suffered a loss earlier this year, and I'll kind of briefly go over that whole timeline. So yeah, let's get started. It's now the middle of June in 2020, and I'm in my 13th week of pregnancy, so just starting the second trimester. The baby is due right around Christmas. And I do know the gender, but I'm not telling you yet. I'd rather wait for the 20-week anatomy scan to be absolutely positive about the gender before I go spouting that everywhere. My husband and I have been together for 8 years now, just over that. We were dating for 4 years, and we've been married for an additional 4 years. We did want kids from the very, very beginning. It was probably the second day or something that we were dating, and my boyfriend at the time, he said, "Do you want kids?" And I said, "Oh yeah, absolutely." He's like, "Okay, good." He kind of made it clear that it was something that was really important to him, and it was something that was really important to me too. So that was really exciting that we lined up on that, and it was important enough that we wanted to have that talk like way early in the relationship. Anyway, fast forward a few more years, we got married. That was 4 years ago now. And just a couple months after we got married, we bought our house. Unfortunately, we lived in California, so even though we got our foot in the door, so to speak, we weren't really feeling financially secure enough to start having kids. So we just kept focusing on our careers. That was about the time that my migraines started as well, but I wouldn't have been able to leave work to be pregnant with the way that my migraines were and how expensive the house payments were. We expected it would be another like 5 years before we got anywhere close to being ready to have kids. At the end of 2018, we made the tough decision to move away from our hometown and move to a new state. We moved 1,000 miles, just me, Brian, and my service dog, Betty. We sold our home, bought an RV, lived in the RV for like 4 months while our new home was getting constructed. And then in October of last year, October of 2019, we got to close on our brand new house, which is where I am now. It has plenty of space for a family. The mortgage payments are much more reasonable because it's not California. And we have a nice big backyard so that Buddy and the kids can all run around together once they come. So, end of October 2019, house closes and we're like, yeah, we're done with birth control. We thought it was gonna be years, but basically the second we landed in the house, we were like, let's fill this thing. November was my first cycle off of birth control, and if you're following me on Instagram, you might know that in November I went to Cabo and they kept spiking my food with dairy, so I was pretty violently ill. I lost 10 pounds in like 5 days, and I still haven't been able to gain the weight back. Well, not until I was pregnant with this little one. And by the way, I am feeling a lot better now that I'm able to keep some weight on, but at the time, it was not a good month to try. I guess I should pause here and mention, if you haven't tried to conceive before, there's just a few day window each month where the woman is fertile, so you really need to track your cycles, know when you're going to ovulate, and do the deed during specific days of the month so that you can increase your chances of getting pregnant. It's not like you have all month and you need to get lucky during one of the times or something. It's like, it's a very specific window. So during that window, I was violently ill. The next month, December, we traveled back to California to visit our families for the holidays. So during my fertile window that month, we were sleeping in my sister's childhood bedroom right above my parents' bedroom. Hard pass, not gonna happen. This can wait till next month. That was just awful timing. Awful timing, but no, we'll wait. January, back in the new house, we were unsuccessful, and when I got that negative pregnancy test at the end of January, I was pretty crushed. Looking back, I'm very glad that that happened because getting pregnant can be scary. It's a time of a lot of uncertainty, and you're like, am I really cut out for this and whatever, but remembering back to that day that I got the negative pregnancy test and eventually had my cycle, I was really sad, and it made me realize how badly I really wanted this baby now, and that I do emotionally feel ready for it, and that I'm really excited for this time in my life. So great in hindsight, horrible at the time. And fortunately, my very next cycle, I did end up getting pregnant. I was really thrilled when we got pregnant. I knew that things like my tubes were okay, I do ovulate, my husband's sperm count is likely all right. All of those questions were kind of eased in my mind, but of course the "can I do this" question was still looming over my head. With the migraines, my body's under a lot of stress. I'm going through a lot of emotional turmoil and panic with those sometimes. And with my POTS, my dysautonomia, my blood pressure drops a lot randomly. So I'm prone to fainting and convulsions, and that just doesn't seem like the kind of body that would feel ready to be a home for a baby. And that's why it was terrifying when just a few weeks later, I started bleeding. Of course, my absolute worst fears came true. Not quite ready to talk about it because it's only been 3 months. I woke up that morning distinctly not nauseous, and I was like, yep, I don't feel pregnant anymore. I think that's it. I think I'm done. That was the moment I woke up, so I used my first morning urine to take a pregnancy test, and it only just barely had a very faint line. You might notice that I have this mug behind me that says "Mama needs some coffee." This still contains that pregnancy test. So she has been in every single video that you guys have watched, or the little bit that I have left of her. I do not want to get into what happened over the next few days. It was traumatizing and horrible, and I still have anxiety attacks about it when certain things happen that remind me of that devastating weekend. So let's move forward. Also, I want this video to be about the excitement of our rainbow baby, not about that sadness. We can talk about that sadness in a separate video about being sad, not this one. Back in the day, they used to recommend waiting like 3 to 6 months before you try to conceive again after a miscarriage, but it depends a lot on your body from what I've read, and it depends a lot on the miscarriage. Like if you went through the surgical procedure, the DNC, they probably recommend that you wait a bit longer. But I was a very early miscarriage that carried out naturally and very quickly, so I wasn't given any recommendation to wait. Definitely talk to your healthcare provider about what's safe for you and your situation. I did want to wait to have a period before we tried again, but I obviously wasn't gonna like get back on birth control for the 1 month, so we decided to just let it go that month. What happens, happens. And what happened at the end of that month is I'm pregnant. I honestly don't even know how it happened because I'm a chronic migrainer, and when you have migraines for your like entire fertile week and nothing exciting happens that week, usually you don't get pregnant, but I'm very pregnant, so okay. Hallelujah, rainbow baby is on the way. For those of you doing math right now, I'm in my 13th week of pregnancy, but I ovulated 3 weeks after, not 2 weeks after like a normal person, so my gestational age goes back by a week because there's an extra week at the beginning there, blah, blah, blah. So I'm 12 and a half weeks pregnant now, which means that I am in my 13th week. Very confusing date stuff, but baby is due Christmas of 2020. He or she is just going to be so loved and is so loved already, and I'm so excited. So at the point where I'm at in the pregnancy, it was probably like a week ago that it really started setting in my heart that this pregnancy is going to end in a baby. So now I'm getting really excited about the baby. Before it was like, I'm pregnant another day, and I'm extremely grateful for that because that's one step closer to me reaching my dream of becoming a mom. But deep in my heart, I knew the possibility of recurrent miscarriage. I knew that there could be something wrong with me because there was something wrong with the first pregnancy. So even though odds were in my favor that the baby would be okay, I was really nervous to get attached, and I think that's only reasonable. And now, after reaching the end of the first trimester, which is sort of like a danger zone, I'm feeling a lot more confident, and the baby has been hitting all of their milestones. It's hard not to say the gender. So I'm getting to the point now where I'm really excited. I feel like I can finally start planning the nursery. I can finally start, you know, just dreaming about other baby stuff, thinking about toys, thinking about changing diapers and how much sleep I'm gonna lose. Like, I'm starting to get really excited that this one probably isn't gonna end like the last one did, and I couldn't be more excited. I would love to have you along for the ride, so make sure that you subscribe. If you tap the notification bell and hit all notifications, you'll get notified every time we post a new video. That way you will not miss any updates about me or Little Bean or Service Dog Buddy. I'm thrilled, I feel great, I feel beautiful, and I am so pumped to show you my little bump. Earlier, I took a video of me dancing, so I'm gonna see if I can put together, like, I don't know, some funny compilation of my belly bouncing around. But for now, here it is. My waistband is coming down a little because I've been sitting, but cute little bump. And I'm really excited that I popped out quickly enough that nobody's really questioning whether I'm pregnant at this point. I didn't have many months of the awkward chubby phase. Although, if you watched my video from last week, I'll put a card here, of Buddy on duty versus off duty. There are definitely some shots in there, and also in the thumbnail, you can tell I'm a little pudgy there. That was only a week ago, so I wasn't much smaller than I am now. Make sure that you head over to my Instagram. My Instagram username is @mommingwithmigraine, all one word, no funny stuff. I'm like rubbing my back. Ah, yeah, it's nice. If you want to see shameless bump pictures probably all the time now that I'm out of the closet, and as always, some things of Buddy too, go ahead and head over to Instagram, follow us on there. As far as future videos go, I have like a gazillion ideas of things that I could share with you. Things like how Buddy reacts to me being pregnant, how I'm able to manage my migraines, how I'm able to manage POTS, how the chronic migraines changed once I got pregnant and how the POTS changed, the symptoms that I was having that weren't those things, just the pregnancy symptoms, if I've been using any products. If there's anything in particular that you're curious about, please comment it below to sort of steer the direction that I go with these videos, because otherwise I'm just going to be picking random stuff that I find interesting, and that might not be information that's helpful to you at all. It's kind of weird that I just talk at the camera and then you have to listen to whatever I subject you to. It's weird. It's just a weird position to be in. So please let me know down below what you want to hear about. I will see you next week. Bye.